Welcome everybody to the 2017-18 Knicks Media Day. We're going to start off talking to President Steve Mills and Scott Perry. Earlier we announced a trade with Oklahoma City. Details are in the press release. So we're going to start off with some opening comments from Steve Mills, our president.
Good afternoon. Thanks for coming and joining us today. First off, I think we'd like to thank Carmelo Anthony for everything he's done for the Knicks organization, everything he's done for the city of New York, and we certainly wish him well in Oklahoma City. And on a time like this, I think it's important to talk about Carmelo as a person. I've had the fortune of getting to know him very well over the 4 years I've been here, and he is a tremendous person off the court. He's used his sort of brand and who he is as a basketball player and as a person to support some very important social issues. I have had the opportunity, I think 3 years ago, to Puerto Rico with Carmelo, and I could see how much that community means to him as a person. I've watched his charitable efforts in Puerto Rico, his court dedications, his charity events, how he's interacted with the business community there. And with that in mind, we've decided to donate $100,000 to his hurricane relief project because we know it's important to him and we want to thank him for everything he's done for us. We've always been consistent with you that if we ever found a basketball deal that made sense for us and made sense for Carmelo, we would execute upon that, and that's really why we're here today. And I'd like to let Scott talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, before I get into the details on that too, I also want to thank Carmelo Anthony and his representation too for their professionalism throughout this process since I've come on board in mid-July. As we sat here on Friday morning with you guys, with many of you, we were perfectly ready that Carmelo Anthony was going to be back in the Knicks uniform, because that's where things were at that time. But as I've come to know during my 18 years in the NBA, things can be very fluid. So by Friday night and into Saturday morning, early hours, things really picked up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And we felt at that time that there was going to be something there, and to our point all along, that was going to make a little bit of sense for us as a basketball organization. It made some sense for Carmelo as well, and so we acted upon that. And so we sit here today. In the trade, we felt like getting back two 25-year-old players in Enes Kanter and Doug McDermott, both who have some solid skill sets. Enes is a young man who has proven that he can score the basketball on the interior, ranked in the top 5 players in the league in terms of his ability to score off the bench. He displayed that at Oklahoma City. And then, obviously, Doug McDermott's ability to make shots from the three-point range. And then we also were able to acquire a very valuable draft asset. So we felt that the timing was right, and what we were going to get back was something that we could work with in a positive manner.
All right, let's start with some questions and answers. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand. Wait for the microphone to come around, and please introduce yourself so we know who you are.
Ian Begley, ESPN. I guess just for Steve and Scott, I mean, in the end, is it better off getting this done before today? Did that have any factor in how things progressed from Friday to Saturday afternoon?
Well, I mean, obviously now we have the opportunity to kind of turn the page a little bit. But again, you know, it still came down to something that was going to be presented to us that made enough sense from a basketball perspective. And it just happened to come together, like I said, late Friday night, early Saturday morning. So we're looking forward to moving ahead and establishing the culture that we want to have here and how we're going to play as a basketball team moving forward.
Steve Popper from the Bergen Record. I guess for Scott Moore, moving Melo and bringing in Enes, you kind of do have a little bit of a logjam at center now. Are you still thinking this is what you bring to the season, or does this make you more active maybe?
No, like I said the other day, part of my job is to daily obviously assess our roster and take phone calls and figure out ways how to keep getting this basketball team better. And so I will continue to do that. So it doesn't impact my thought process really, because I was going to do that regardless of who's here, and I will continue to do that as long as I'm here.
Mark Berman, New York Post. I mean, Carmelo, he's 33 years old. It seems it's all about guys in their mid-20s, but why didn't you think Carmelo was a fit here? I mean, specifically, I mean, it was clear that you wanted to move on. Why didn't you think at 33 he could be a fit and positive influence?
I don't think that was the discussion at all about him being a fit. I think it was just, again, us getting together and deciding that, he had made his sentiments known, as had we. And if there was something that made sense, we were going to move forward without him. And if it didn't, we were going to move forward with him. And this just happened to make enough sense for us to move forward without him.
Your own Weitzman Bleacher Report. Over here. Scott, over here.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. So, yeah.
Did you guys bring the Thunder to, were you in touch with the Thunder beforehand, and did you bring that idea to Carmelo? Did he say to you he was willing to waive the trade to go there? How'd that go about?
Well, what I want to always do is respectfully in the process, because I'm always talking to teams around the league, is not necessarily expose, conversations that we have. I want to protect the integrity of our conversations of, who contacted who first, or, who we talked about. I'd rather leave that, private, if you will. And but just at the end of the day, obviously, I've had some familiarity with the people there, and you're on the phone all the time. But it really didn't pick up to the point to where we could consummate any type of deal until, like I said, late Friday is when I think things really got serious.
Stephan Bondy, New York Daily News. Both of you guys talk highly of Willie Hernan-Gomez leading up to this as a future core piece. Now you bring on another center who's 25 years old. You already have Joakim Noah. What is the plan for the center position moving forward?
I think a lot of things will be sorted out through the training camp that's getting ready to get underway tomorrow, and that division of labor will be decided on how guys compete through this process, and obviously that's one of the coaching staff's biggest jobs coming into this is figuring that kind of thing out. And we'll assess it each and every day throughout our training camp and during preseason games and into the season. And we'll definitely do, make what we believe are the right moves to keep getting this team better.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. I'm sorry, guys. I guess, Steve, you were here longer, so I'm not sure. Maybe I know, Scott, you said you also talked to Carmelo, but did you guys have much conversation with kind of why he wanted to? Obviously, you guys had your own feelings why you'd want to move on. Maybe why he did. Was it, the win-loss record? Was it, maybe just the experience of last year sour him? Did you get a feeling why he was ready to go?
Well, I'm not going to talk specifically to our conversations, but in a general sense, we had discussions with Carmelo, and he just made it clear his point of view in terms of what he'd like to see if we could get accomplished, and we just worked together to see if there was something there.
Hi, I'm DC Livers with Black Press Radio. My question is really asked by our audience, and so they're really excited that there's people of color. So I wanted to just ask you guys what it's like and what you plan to do to help make sure there's diversity in the league.
Well, what I want to do is just do the very best possible job that I can do, and I'm sure Steve feels the same way, to represent ourselves and this organization in a first-class manner. And in doing so, hopefully that opens up more opportunities and inclusion and diversity in our sport and other sports moving forward.
And I echo that. I'm on the NBA has started a Global Inclusion Council, which is really designed to help increase gender and racial diversity across every part of the NBA. And so they added me to help on the basketball operations side. So I like to participate, make them think about different things. How can we create opportunities for people to just get included and be considered for positions? So Scott and I will continue to do that. And I think the best thing we can do is be good examples and do our jobs well. And that will help open the doors for other people.
to your left, standing up, Mike Borknoff from New York Times. How much do you think the fact that Carmelo had a no-trade clause and kind of the openness of this entire trade process, how much did that hamstring you in terms of what potential return you could have gotten and how the entire process played out?
I don't know that you can, fully put how much or how little that impact has. All I know is that, when I got here, and we've obviously addressed all the issues before, that we were just going to do something that worked for us. If it didn't, under the parameters of the no trade clause, then, but obviously something presented itself, and we felt good enough about the deal, and we moved forward. If we didn't, we wouldn't have moved forward.
Christian Winfield, SB Nation. Steve, when you thanked Carmelo, you thanked him for his stance on tackling social issues. I was just wondering if you've taken the temperature of the locker room now, and the roster as it stands has a lot of people that aren't from here. So is there a type of education or a learning process that you want to teach them or have them understand what is going on there, and help them formulate an opinion or help them formulate a plan to take a stand?
Yes, we do that, and we try to get them to think about it as a group. Last year when we got them together, we talked about the makeup of our team, a lot of international guys, some guys from the States, and that it was important for them on social issues to think about it as a group and think about how it impacts the guy sitting next to them. So we'll talk to them, and we'll encourage them to get together and think about how things, what's important to them.
Bruce Beck, WNBC TV. Steve, now that Carmelo is gone, what is your vision for this team for this year in terms of goals and expectations?
It's nothing different than what we laid out since Scott came on board. We expect this to be a team that plays hard, has a defensive mindset. It's an opportunity for us to grow our young players, make sure they're developing individually and as a group. And we have a good group of veterans around that will be very important in the development of the younger players. But we want to put a team on the floor that's going to play hard every night. Scott talks about it all the time. They're going to compete every time they get on the floor, and it's a team that New York will be proud to support.
Hi, Malika Andrews, New York Times. I was just wondering, with Carmelo moving on to Oklahoma, what you'll be looking for now from Kristaps Porzingis and how he's going to fit, and is that someone you're really going to look towards to be a leader on and off the court?
Well, looking forward to Kristaps to continue his development. He's entering his third year as a professional. He continues to grow and develop physically and obviously mentally as well too. So there'll be we want to see that natural progression. We want to support him. We're going to push him. We want to hold him accountable, and ultimately he'll determine on how much he's going to be able to handle in terms of a leadership role, and I know he's looking forward to the challenge, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him a lot better and work with him, and that starts now because he's just getting back here, and I'm looking forward to that.
Mike Ficara, New York Post. For both of you guys, are you comfortable that however you want to describe the way it ended last year for him, for Porzingis, that's all been resolved, it's going to be resolved, that he's comfortable being back here and moving forward?
I'm confident that we will spend a lot of time with KP as we will with the other players, and we will make this, whatever issues there were last year, we'll make sure those are our players understand exactly what we expect of them, and we'll understand what they expect from us as management, and make sure we have a good environment moving forward.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. From this point forward, we'll start bringing players to you for the rest of Media Day.
Thank you.
Maybe by myself? Nah, I'm good. Need a bigger table for next year. Hello.
All right, we're going to wait for the photographers to get their shots, and then we're going to start with a little Q&A. So let's do the same rules. Raise your hand. You have a question, wait for the microphone, identify yourself so Kristaps knows who you are. Anybody have any questions? Oh, Andy, let's start with Andy.
We need some fresh air in here.
Kristaps, hi, Andy Adler from Pix 11 right here. Good to see you. Right off the bat, are you ready to lead this team, Kristaps?
Of course. I'm excited about the opportunity to be the leader of the team. But at the end, it's not just one guy. It's going to be us 15 guys as a team. And but I'm excited about being one of the leaders of the team.
Bruce Beck, WNBC TV. Kristaps, were you angry at the team, and are you angry in any way still?
No. I'm coming into this season with a fresh mind. It's a new season. I want to leave what happened. I want to leave it in the past. The past is the past, and I don't want to talk about that no more. Let's talk about the next season. I'm just excited to be here.
Kristaps, Otis Livingston, WCBS TV. Just wondering what it's like for you to come to camp now without Carmelo Anthony. We're talking about the past as a past. He's now a member, a person of the past. What did you learn from him in your 2 seasons here, and how much you're going to miss him?
Yeah, well, I'm really grateful, to have had him for these two seasons, and I had the opportunity to learn from him, be around him day to day, and he was a great leader for us. He was a great mentor for me, and he was like a big brother to me. So I'm really thankful for all for him being around me, and so I have nothing but respect for Carmelo, and I wish him the best in the future.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press, to your left. Congratulations on a good summer, by the way. You guys
Thank you.
Well. Obviously, not just Carmelo, but Phil's also gone since we last saw you. A lot has changed. Just overall, what do you think about the direction the franchise is going?
The direction the franchise is going?
Yes, all the changes the Knicks have made in leadership and on the players now.
Right, a lot of changes, obviously, yes, and a lot of new things. But I arrived yesterday. I have no idea, honestly. I was back home in Latvia just working on my game, focusing on getting better and coming back here better player, so I can make a bigger difference now when we play on the basketball court. So I'm sure the management are going to do their best, and us as players, we're going to try to do our best for the team and to keep growing as a team.
Kristaps, when you left last year, the last day you talked to us, you talked about rebuilding would depend on if you felt confident in the direction the management was taking. I don't know if you got a chance to talk or text with them at all. Do you get that sense now that things are on the right track for you?
With who, sorry?
With just management, everything.
Okay.
Do you get a sense things are on the right track now?
I believe so. I have faith in those people, and I believe they want us to grow, and they want for me to be in a position where I can succeed, and I'm excited. This is a lot of new things are happening, and a lot of new people are here, and so it's going to be a lot of changes. And I'm coming in, as I said, I'm coming in with a fresh mind. I'm looking forward to this season. I'm excited.
Yeah, hey, Kristaps, Mark Berman, New York Post.
How you doing, Mark? All good?
Good. How do you describe your relationship last season with Jeff? There's been some murmurs about it. And second part, did you ever ask Carmelo or try to convince him to stay this year?
Me and Melo, we texted and we kept in contact throughout the summer, and obviously I understand it's a business at the end, and he has to make the best decision for himself, and I believe that was the best for him to take on a new challenge and go to Oklahoma. And about Jeff Hornacek, I have a great relationship with him, so I don't really know where it all comes from.
Kristaps, Adam Zagoria, SNY. A lot of players have left the Eastern Conference for the Western Conference, including now Melo, Paul George. Do you think that helps the Knicks' chances to make the playoffs in the East, and do you think this can be a playoff team?
I think that's kind of a losing mentality if you're hoping for the conference to get worse so you can make it to the playoffs. You have to be good enough to make it to the playoffs. And so I think no matter what's going on in the East or the West, we have to try to be the best team we can, and then we'll see our chances.
Kristaps, Yaron Weitzman, Bleacher Report. The addition of Enes Kanter means another center on the team, which means maybe more time for you at the 4. Is that something you're comfortable with? Would you prefer to spend more time at the 5?
I'm a lot comfortable at the 4. But yeah, we'll see how it all comes together. Who's going to play how many minutes at what position, and we have a lot of big guys, and it's going to be competitive in practices. I'm sure about that. So we'll see.
Kristaps, Christian Winfield, SB Nation. You obviously had a successful summer playing for the Latvian national team. Can you just talk about your summer, what you did, how you got better, how you got stronger, and just go into detail about how you improved your game for coming back for the season?
Yeah, I had a great summer. As soon as the season was over, I rested maybe for like 10 days and got back to work. Worked on everything. I was running on the track. I was swimming. I was doing all kinds of body movement stuff. I had nothing. I'd never done that before in my life, and I had a really good summer. I put in a lot of work. I feel confident. I think I had a good European Championship, which obviously as a team we didn't end the way we wanted to, but we did do one of the best tournaments in the past for us as a country. So I'm proud of those guys. I'm proud of the team that we had, and it was a great experience for me as being the leader of that team, and I think that's also going to help me here this year with the Knicks.
Tom Merriam, Sports Final Radio. How will the team miss Carmelo on the court?
Sorry?
How will the team miss Carmelo on the court?
Obviously, he took a lot of pressure off of everybody. We got to understand that. He was always the number one focal point for the other team, and I realized that. And now I'm going to be one of those guys that the other team is going to focus on, and that's going to make things more difficult for me. So it's going to be different. It's going to be way different. He draws so much attention, and now there might be more attention on me. So I have to be ready for that. It's going to be different.
Chris Banks, Court Cred. Are you going to be an All-Star this year?
I believe so.
Taylor Rooks, SNY. You said that you have been preparing yourself for this moment. How have you been preparing yourself for this? And what exactly does this moment leading the team mean to you?
One thing is just focusing on the things you need to do as a leader, how you can become a leader, the leadership qualities that you need, and just working on your game, getting better every summer, getting better every day, and if you put in the work and you feel comfortable, you feel confident, then you're ready for the moment.
And what are those leadership qualities that you need?
Just being a leader.
Malika Andrews, New York Times. Scott Perry, since he's got here, has put emphasis on we're going to build a culture of accountability, and that's something that last season maybe at times this team has lacked. How are you going to contribute to that culture of accountability, and what do you think your responsibility is within that?
I think it means having people that work hard, that see the same goal, and then you can hold each other accountable for actions. And I think me, as I'm going to try to be one of the leaders of the team, I'm going to have to also be an example for the other guys and also hold people accountable. But we have also great leaders, veterans that are going to help with that. The young guys, myself, and everybody else. So I think we have a mix of players that can contribute to that.
Kristaps, Duke Castiglione, Fox 5, you talk about leadership. Do you look at this as your team now and embrace that you're the go-to guy now that Melo's gone and that this is your team?
As I said, I'm excited about the opportunity of being, the leader of the team. But at the end, it's going to be 15 guys on a roster, and everybody's going to have to contribute, and everybody's going to do that. And it's not just about one guy, and that's his team. And I'm going to do what I can, but it's a team. It's not just one player.
Kristaps, Stephen Bondy, New York Daily News. You were gone for like 5 months overseas. Did you, with the disappointment of last season and all the drama did you feel it was important for you to just get away?
I felt like it was important for me to get away just to work on my game and have nothing else around and just be away from everything. And I enjoy being back home with my family, honestly. And that gives me so much energy, positive energy, that these 5 months were really important to me. I worked really hard. I worked really hard this summer, and I'm really excited about being back here and now showing what I worked on during the summer.
All right, thank you, Kristaps.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for Billy or Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Tim, right here to your left.
Yeah.
This is Arden Franklin from AST. With at least a couple seasons under your belt and playing in different situations and different roles, and now having this past off season, what are some things that you discover about yourself personally and professionally?
Just the mature aspect. I've been through the ringer, so going down to the D League, now it's G League, but going down there and just taking it as a positive and definitely taking that time to work on my game and just to go out there and prove that I belong. So that's going down there definitely helped me mature as a person and as a ball player on and off the floor.
Tim, you said when we saw over here.
Yeah.
You said when we saw you when you first signed that you were hoping to play with Carmelo. Obviously, that's not going to happen. What's your reaction, and do you expect now to be more involved or carry more weight with the team?
I think with Melo's situation, he had to do what was best for him and for his family. I'm happy to say that I definitely had an opportunity to play with him, and it was a great 2 years with him. But yeah, he has to do what's best for him and for his family and for his career. So sad to see him go, but it's business at the end of the day.
Tim. Okay. Otis Livingston, WCBS TV. How are you different as a player coming back, and how does it feel being back in the New York Knicks uniform? I mean, I'm sure you probably never even thought it would be possible.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's awesome to be back, and just coming back, different player, different mindset. I think the first couple of years we had different, changes in the front office and different coaching situations. So just being drafted here my first year, that same front office, the next season didn't really draft me. So I really felt like I wasn't their type of caliber of player. So it was sad to leave, but at the same time, I understood it was a business, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to go to Atlanta and they helped mold me into the player that I am right now. So, yeah.
Tommy B, your Basketball Insiders. Billy, a lot of centers on the roster now. Do you plan on being a starter? Do you hope to be the starter? Do you expect to be a starter?
I don't know. I think we got a lot of centers. It's going to be a healthy fight. You can learn something new every day in practice. So I'm really happy because, I like the difficult things. So I'm going to fight from the beginning to try to help my team. I don't know if I'm going to start or not. I just want to use my minute and try to help the team to get the wins.
Ian Begley,
Tim, did you add any weight over the offseason? Did you bulk up at all, or is it
No,
same?
no, same weight as I was last year, 203, 204. Feeling great. Yeah, still the same.
Tim, Christian Winfield, SB Nation, over this way. There you go. When you went down to Atlanta, I guess, well, my question is, what is one thing that you could say you learned from going down there, and what do you expect to bring to the Knicks now that you've learned from there and come back?
Just having that killer instinct, that defensive mindset, and also playing unselfishly, picking and choosing your spots wisely on the floor, when to score, when not to score, when to make the right decisions while you're out there. And yeah, I think those are the key components to what helped me.
One question for Billy and one for Tim. For Billy, what do you know about Kanter? You played against him in the NBA, but maybe in Europe too. And for Tim, I mean, did you ever try to convince Carmelo to stay here this year, or did you feel his mind was just completely made up?
I think Enes is one of the best centers in the league too. I met him a couple of years ago, and I really like him. He's a cool guy, and I'm really excited because I think I can learn something from him. I can fight with him every day in the practice with Joe and Kyle and KP too, and we're just not fighting for to be the center. I mean, we can play together too, and you know, both of us we want the best for the team, so we want to work hard for that.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, I was trying to, convince him to stay. We were working out together second half of the summer, majority of the time. But I mean, you're not going to change his mind. At the end of the day, he has a choice to make, and he decided to make the choice and go to OKC. And like I said, he has to do what's best for him.
Tom Merriam, Sports Final Radio. What would make this a successful season for the Knicks?
Can you repeat, please?
What would make this a successful season for the Knicks?
I mean, I think it's a new season, new players, new mindset. I think everybody got a positive energy, and everybody want to work hard this year. So I'm really excited to see. Training camp is going to be a really nice week to practice hard, to be together, and I think we can do really good things this year.
Yeah, just piggyback on him, what he said. A lot of guys are hungry. You can see it in an open gym, in the weight room. People get in here 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and here for 5 hours. Everybody's in here on their grind, and you can see that mindset building and building each and every day. So I know I'm happy. I know we're all happy and excited, to get to work and make this push to the playoffs.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, he doesn't.
All right, everyone, questions for the newest Knicks, Doug and Enes.
Pictures first.
And Steve Popper from the Bergen Record. I guess first of all, you had kind of been pretty open about how you felt about Oklahoma City. How much did this catch you by surprise, and just thoughts on coming here?
So when I hear about the news first, I was doing a basketball camp for orphans in Oklahoma City, and one of my friends brought me the phone and said, "Hey, it's an urgent." I said, "I'm doing the camp. Can I not talk after?" He said, "It's urgent." I put the phone in my ear, and my manager said, "Just got traded." I said, "Okay." I said, "Where?" He said, "To the Knicks." But he said, "Don't look too happy," because he knows I love New York, come here in the summertime and stuff. He said, "Don't look too happy." And after I went home, packed my stuff. Actually, I was just talking to Doug inside. I woke up middle of the night, and I punched myself. I was like, "Is this a dream or is this really happening?" And it's a really cool place, man. And then the night before I came here, I had a dinner with Russell Westbrook and Steven Adams. And they told me two things. They told me, first thing, it's New York, it's a dangerous place to play. So just keep focusing on basketball. And the second thing, watch out for the New York media. So I'm watching for you guys. Well, I'm really excited though, man. I'm really happy and excited to be here.
Enes, over here. Were you concerned at all only because you played on a great team for so long, and now you're coming to a team that's rebuilding? Was there any thought?
This is a great team. I mean, you see, it's a young group of guys. I understand and everything, but I feel like we have something really special, man. I mean, I saw last year I played with against those guys. They're young and everything, but I know one thing: they play hard. Every game on offensively, defensively, they play hard, and they stick together. I feel like that's the most important that I'm looking for. So that's why I was really excited to come here. And I know Jeff Hornacek. Me and Doug had eat dinner with him last night. He was my coach. He was my assistant coach in Utah. So it was my rookie year. He's my coach, and I know him since. He's an amazing guy.
Hey, Doug, how's it going?
What's up, man?
SB Nation. Just curious as to how you found out about the trade, what your reaction was, and what you think about the fit as a shooter and as a scorer like yourself, how you think you fit in with this roster and with Coach Jeff Hornacek.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play in the system. I've known Coach Hornacek for a little bit of time. I worked out for the Phoenix Suns when he was the coach there, so kind of familiar with what he's trying to do out there. And I guess I just found out kind of like Enes, just random. I was actually about to head to a Oklahoma State TCU football game, had my Cowboy shirt on, and then got the call from Sam. So my initial reaction, I was excited just because I like New York a lot, and I feel like this is a system I can really benefit in.
Dr. Dan Miller, WVOX Radio. This is for Enes and Doug. What are your expectations of your new team and the coaching staff?
Like Enes said, I think just a good group of young guys, obviously with Porzingis, a guy that I've seen when I was in Chicago quite a bit, just very skilled for his position and his size. And I think with me being a shooter, shooters like to play together because you can't just lock in on one guy. And I think we got plenty of shooters. So I think we got a good young core. And we ate with Coach Hornacek and some front office people last night. So he kind of broke down the way we wanted to play. And I think we're both really excited about it.
I think for me, when you got traded to a team, you feel a little weird. You feel a little awkward. But when I stepped on that locker room, everybody was just laughing, smiling, good friends, having fun. That's what I was looking for. That a team, young group of a team that stick together, see this team like his family. I step on that locker room and everybody give me a high five and saying welcome home and everything. So I'm basketball. We're gonna work on it, get better and stuff. That's the stuff I'm looking for. Just going out there, having fun, play hard, play smart, and just stick together.
Enes and Doug, what about your commitment to defense? That's the question.
Yeah, it's something we got to be committed to if we want to be on the floor. And Coach Hornacek kind of harped that to us last night because if we want to play the way we want to play offensively, it starts with stops. You can't really get up and down the floor if the ball is going through the basket every time. And that's something I've been working on, trying to become a lot better team defender to help me out and help me get more time on the floor.
Yeah, like Doug said, and I feel like the defense is about communication and trust. I mean, if you trust your teammate, if you know he got your back, then you feel way better on defense. So every time I'm out there, I'm gonna trust my teammates, and of course, that's the thing I've been working on a lot, especially this summer. So I think defense is a team thing. It's not one by one. It's a team thing. I feel like we're gonna stay together and just try to do our best.
Enes, you've been socially conscious and socially aware throughout your time in the NBA. Now that you're here in New York, kind of a bigger stage, is that something you feel you'd be able to bring more attention to some causes you care deeply about?
About
just social issues in terms of the United States, abroad, in your home turkey?
Well, I mean, it's tough, man, because seeing this, amazing country going through this tough time, it's really breaking my heart. I said this before, I feel like, what happened in Charlottesville was an eye-opener. That it shows that America got still a lot of work to do. And especially all these things going right now in NFL, all this, Trump and everything. I just feel bad because, just when I look at America, when I was in young age, it's a freedom of religion, freedom of, speech and everything. Now, all this, amazing people going through this tough times, breaking my heart. I'm not from here. I'm from Turkey, but still, like, going through this with these guys, I feel them because I'm going through the same tough time with my country too. So it's tough, man. But I'm praying for you guys.
Hey guys, this is Arden Franklin right here from AST. This is a question for both of you. Both of you guys have enough experience in the league and also been able to play with a lot of great talent. So being in this situation with a young team, what are some of the biggest lessons that you learned from playing from the likes of a Westbrook and anybody else?
Just how hard they work and how they've gotten to where they are. I played with Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade in Chicago as well, and just seeing Jimmy come from when I first came in, he's kind of just a defensive player, hustle guy, and now you look at him and he's, 2-time, 3-time All-Star. Just the work they put in and the way they showed us the ropes and what it takes to be great. I think that'll be good coming into a situation like this, for me especially, to know what it takes. He played with Russ and KD, and I'm sure he learned a lot from them. But just learning from Jimmy, D. Wade, and Powell, it was great for me.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right. Every time you're out there, you don't feel bad for nobody because they're not going to feel bad for us. So every time you go out there, you try to take his heart out. That's what I learned from Russell Westbrook. You got no friends. You got no friends in the, this is your family, and that's it. You got no other friends. They know the team, nothing. You don't shake hands. You don't say hi. You don't smile at them because when it's game time on. It's a war. So that's what I learned from, Westbrook, and so that's how I'm gonna feel right here, and I hope my teammates are like that too.
Taylor Rooks, SNY. This question is for you, Enes. I know you said you enjoy New York. What about this city kind of draws you to it, and why are you excited to be here?
Well, of course. I mean, if you look at my career, Kentucky, I couldn't get to play for Kentucky, but Kentucky, Utah, Oklahoma City, I always play for like a smaller cities, and I was wondering how to play for a bigger city like New York. So I was just keep thinking that, and I was just, all these guys, I played pickup game this summer, all these New York guys, and they were just really friendly. They were really nice and really, just warm people, and I'm really excited to be here, seriously, because, and also there is a big Turkish community here, a lot of Turkish restaurant. I hope I'll take you guys out to eat one day. But I'm really, really excited to play for a bigger city. It's a bigger market too, so you can just go out there and do your thing.
Enes, about your Enes right here.
I can't see
sorry,
you.
right here.
Oh, sorry, man, I couldn't see.
No problem. About your former team, do you think Westbrook is going to sign the extension there? I know, you talking about how close you are with him.
I got the Knicks jersey, man. I don't wear the Oklahoma jersey anymore. But I talked to him, the day I got traded. We had a dinner that night, but he told me that how much he loves Oklahoma City and how much he sees Oklahoma City like his family. So I feel like he's gonna sign with him, and I mean that's his legacy. That's his team, and he's not gonna leave his legacy behind.
It is. You were at the Carmelo gym quite a bit this summer. You scrimmaged a couple of times.
Yes.
How did Carmelo look? Did he look really focused? And what about your workout? Your manager said you lost a lot of weight.
He looked good when he put the hoodie on, or not hoodie on. Either way, he looked really good, man. Obviously he looked really good. I was on his team one time. I was on a different teams, but he looked really good. Really, he's in really good shape. So I think he's gonna do a lot of good things in Oklahoma City. And there's not much distractions. It's a smaller city, of course. He can focus on basketball. I think that's what he needed. He can focus on basketball and just go out there, do his thing.
Doug, Christian Winfield again from SB Nation. We heard Enes touch on the social issues in the country. Just wondering if you had any comment or any opinion on what's going on and how different teams and franchises are reacting around the country.
Yeah, seeing the NFL yesterday, I thought what they did was great, getting everyone together, the owners and players, because we definitely have some issues in the country. And, I think as a team we'll discuss what we want to do too. And, I think seeing everyone in the NFL make their stand. It's been great.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you, man. Let's have a good year.
Hold on one second. Hey, Frank.
It's nice. Hey.
All right, guys. Any questions for Frank?
Chris Banks, Court Cred. Frank, welcome to New York. Who are you and why are you such a mystery man? And what are your expectations for this year?
I'm Frank Ntilikina, rookie from France. So what are my expectations for this year? I think I'm very excited about this year, rookie year. Getting into the best best basketball league of the world. So what I'm expecting is, as a rookie, getting my feet wet, adapt my game to this new style of game from France. It's like a little bit different, but it's very exciting. Big challenge for me. Go through this process, like I said, it's very exciting for me. So I'm really happy to be here.
Frank, right here to your left, Arden Franklin from AST. Being a point guard and you coming into the NBA at a time where the point guard position is extremely loaded with a lot of talent, how do you feel about your ability to eventually translate to the game and face the competition that the NBA has at your position?
Actually, I'm very confident about my abilities. Like you said, it's like very good, very tough job being a point guard in this league. But I know, I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in the work I put in every day. And like I said, it's going to be a long process, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, big challenges, but I know I can go through it.
Hi, Frank. I'm DC Livers of Black Press Radio. Welcome.
Thank you.
30% of our audience is in Western Africa and French-speaking countries, so I'll be looking forward to doing you speaking French in our interviews. But I had a question come in from our Twitter account, and they asked, do you have any plans to play in the Rucker? It's a kind of a street ball, basketball game. Do you plan to play in the Rucker at all during your New York time?
I don't. Sorry?
In the Rucker, it's a basketball tournament that's in Harlem. Do you plan to visit
Rucker?
Harlem or Brooklyn or, play in the Rucker, be part of the community?
Okay. Playing this tournament in Rocket? I've seen actually some videos, but I think it's more for the summer, having some fun playing there. So obviously, I'll go through that. Thank you. It was very good actually. Carmelo, is a very, very, very good player in this league, All-Star. Being New York here, he gave me a lot of advice to what I expect here, and working with a lot of these players where this run were a lot of fun for me as a rookie, and so yeah. I trust the team to do the best for trust the staff to do the best for the team. Now, what I'm focusing on is the new core we have here. A lot of young guys and good veteran guys to teach us how to go through this NBA league. So I'm focusing on it right now.
Frank, when they had the rookie voting, the rookies voted for different categories, and it seems like you were kind of ignored. Did that give you any motivation in that rookie poll that no one really cited you out? Is it a function of they've never seen you play?
Of course, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, not to be in this voting, like, it's something, it's a little something. I don't really care about it. What I care is like what I give to the team every day, what the work I put in every day. But yeah, it's like a little bit of motivation about it. Yeah.
Une petite question en français. Est-ce que tu peux nous parler de ce que tu as fait cet été, le travail, tu as bossé ici, tu as bossé avec Chris Weekly, tu peux nous en parler un petit peu?
Ouais, comme dit, j'ai passé un bon été à travailler sur mon corps. Je pense que c'est la plus grosse partie sur laquelle je dois travailler, sur mon jeu aussi. Donc j'ai passé du temps ici, à la facilité, comme aussi en ville avec Chris Weekly. Donc voilà, j'ai essayé d'un peu de travailler, de prendre ce temps-là, l'été, pour moi qui est le plus important pour un rookie, prendre justement tout ce temps-là pour progresser et me préparer pour la saison. À propos du poste de titulaire, ça c'est pas comme dit, c'est pas ma décision. Moi, je sais que je vais tout donner pour progresser, pour me développer. Je sais que j'ai deux bons meneurs qui ont beaucoup d'expérience, qui sont là pour m'apprendre pas mal de choses. Donc voilà, je suis confiant par rapport à mes habilités. Mais je sais que c'est un long processus, comme on dit. Et voilà, on verra ce qui va se passer.
Frank, when people talk about you, they talk about your potential. But do you think that you can help the team and really contribute this year?
Of course, I'll do the best for it. Like as every young player here, we all go on the court and try to get some wins. And so I say, like, every rookie needs to work on his potential and work on his abilities. So it might take time, but I will do the best for the team and for me to make this time be short as possible.
Frank, over here to the left. As a first-round draft pick, there's a lot of pressure on you. What have you heard about the New York media and the New York Knicks basketball fan?
No, like pressure. I think no, there's no pressure. I'm here in the best league of the world, best basketball league of the world. What I'm doing here is like work on my game and trying to be the best player I can be. And about New York, I think it's for me, it's the best city in the world. And I know the fans are all over sports. And it's a lot of fun for us to see our team being motivated by these fans, motivated by this press. So I think it's just a lot of fun and very challenging.
Frank, how's it going? Christian Winfield with SB Nation. You didn't get to play in Summer League, so a lot of fans haven't gotten a chance to see your game. Just wondering if you could describe the type of basketball player you are and what are the different things that you look to bring to the Knicks this year?
I think I'm a very high IQ player. No offense, I can definitely do the right choice for the team to get the bucket at the end of the action, either for me or either for my teammates. So we have like a very talented team, very young team. So as a leader, as a point guard, I will have to lead the team, to learn from the veterans player and to learn from every player on the team. So obviously, no offense, I think I'm confident in my abilities. As I say, I will work on it too. And on the other end of the court, of course, defensively it's very important to be solid. So I think I am. So that's it. Yeah.
Frank, welcome to New York. Right here in the back.
Mhm.
Jerome Seville from Sports New York Style. We got a point guard in the league who's destined to be in the Hall of Fame, Tony Parker. I'm sure you're familiar with him and you watched his game. Now tell me, what are the weaknesses in your game and what is the strength in your game and what are you doing to improve them?
I think for now my weakness is my body. I need to work on my body to get stronger, playing more physical, being aggressive to the basket, doing all these things. And yeah, my strength are, like I said, my high IQ, the way I play to make the right decision, to take the good shot, to do the right pass, to have the good game on the court, to make plays. And defensively, I think it's one of my strengths too. I'm sure it's one of my strengths too. So yeah.
Hey Frank, over here, over here. Hey man, Chris with All Hoops podcast. So you obviously played professionally in France. How has your experience over there, playing overseas, and obviously playing on a championship, level squad, help you transition to being now with the Knicks?
I think, like you said, it's just about being professional, learning how to take care of your body, playing a lot of intense game, just growing up a little faster and getting ready to this new whole world.
Frank, one more over here. Obviously, one of the biggest differences between the NBA and playing overseas is the three-point line. How has the transition been? We saw a couple videos of you working out at the gym downtown. How has it been just adjusting to that three-point line and playing with NBA players as opposed to playing with players overseas?
It was good. I think, yeah, it's a little difference. It's like further, but I think I'm getting good at it. I'm working on it, and playing against that kind of player, I think they are the best player in the world, the best athlete in the world. So it takes work, and that's what I'm doing.
All right, Frank. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, boss. All right. Anyone have any questions for Joakim?
Chris Banks, court cred. Salute to you. We are on the same age, so I respect your process. But you had a couple of off years recently. Is this going to be the year where you resurrect your career?
I think that it's been a tough year. Last year was very tough for me. I've had to deal with a lot of adversity, but I feel like I used this summer to regroup and refocus. train really hard, and I'm excited to be at camp and be a positive player for this organization.
Joakim, Stephen Bondi, New York Daily News. How is the recovery, the shoulder going, and the knee as well? How do you feel physically?
I feel like I feel good, really good, and I'm excited for camp.
Joakim, Ian Begley, ESPN.com. Just two questions. You're medically cleared to do everything at this point. Is that accurate?
You know, I'm 4.5 months out of my shoulder injury, so I feel good. I think that everybody's on the same page. I'm excited for camp, and we'll just see how it goes. It's just kind of seeing how my body reacts to, you know, contact and all that. But so far, everything's good.
You know, you've been so socially conscious throughout your career. I'm just wondering, you know, your thoughts about what's happened the last couple of days with the NFL and President Trump and the Golden State Warriors and President Trump. How you kind of received all that?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's great because we're finally talking about what's important. You know, I mean, obviously I have my beliefs. You know, I put in a lot of work in the neighborhoods trying to help at-risk youth. So I have my opinions, but you know, I respect this country a lot. But you have to look at everything that's going on as a positive, because we're finally talking about issues that are usually swept under the rug. And because somebody takes a knee, we're finally talking about what's important.
Joe, Steve Popper from the Bergen Record. You came here last year. Phil obviously very enthusiastic about recruiting you, and you come with Derek and Carmelo. Just your thoughts on kind of the change that's happened over the summer, and what the approach is this year. Is it different? Is it they talk about rebuilding and things like that?
It's definitely different. You know, Carmelo was just such a big part of New York Knicks. You know, he meant so much to the city. So it's definitely different not having him around, and obviously Derek is somebody I played my whole career with, so it's definitely different as well. So, but I'm in a position right now where I had a really rough year last year. I'm coming off injuries, and I just want to redeem myself for myself, more importantly, more than anybody else. Just come back and look, I got paid a lot of money to be here, you know, and I just want to be at peace with that.
Just going back to that previous question, to your left, Brian Mahoney, Associated Press, you said you do have a lot of opinions, and you have done a lot of work in the communities and such. What would you do to try and make things less fractured than the way they are right now?
Now we're talking. What would I do? I would make it a lot harder to get guns, number one. I mean, kids have access to guns in this country, and we don't even talk about it. I mean, these kids are killing each other at alarming rates, and it's still so easy to buy guns, to buy bullets, and you know, and then we point fingers wherever we can, but I mean, it's just so easy to buy a gun in this country. So I would start with that. I would make more of an investment in these in the communities, in the hood. I think that there definitely needs to be more of an investment by these politicians. I think that that's where violence prevention starts, is in these community centers. And if you go into these neighborhoods, there's not much going on. So if we can invest in the kids, I think the violence will go down.
Joakim, to your right, your own Weitzman Bleacher Report. With Carmelo gone, you're probably like the elder statesman here, especially among the American guys. So have you been in touch with players from other teams in terms of if there are plans for national anthem, kneeling, or anything along those lines?
No, we haven't spoke about it yet. It's obviously a very serious issue, and I've been thinking about it for a while. Because, I think that as an organization, I think they want us to do things together, which I understand. But we'll see. I'm not sure.
Joe, Bruce Beck over here. How much quality basketball do you have left in that body, and do you feel like this is the year that you're going to show it to the fans of New York?
I feel like I'm working really hard, and I think that more than showing anybody, it's more for myself. I want to get back on the court, and I'm coming off 2 tough surgeries, so it's tough. I know I've been climbing a tough mountain right now. But I'm excited, and I trained my ass off this summer, and camp starts tomorrow. We have a lot of bigs, a lot of very quality bigs. So it's on me to just go out there and bring something to the squad.
Taylor Rooks, I know you said that you maybe lost some confidence last season. How do you feel that confidence coming back headed into this season?
Well, I think your confidence comes from your work, your body of work. And I think that there was a lot of things. Tibbs used to always tell me when I was playing in Chicago, is your house in order? And I didn't understand what he was talking about when he said, like, is your house in order? And now I understand what it means. I had to get my house in order.
All right, Joakim, thank you so much.